Hi, lovely to have you here. Welcome to the Electro Revolution channel. My name is Michael and I'm a car and tech enthusiast. In this series of episodes, we're covering the review of the Tesla Model Y Launch Edition. Now, as I've explained it before, this was a limited time order only for this particular model. It was in January and February of 2025 with deliveries occurring in May of 2025. Now, this is the sixth part or the sixth episode of a multiple episode series. So I hope you've watched already 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 because this is a continuation of that series. Now in this particular episode, what we'll be covering, now I have written this down so I don't forget any of the details. Number one is we'll be taking the car for a drive. Now this is the most exciting part of actually a vehicle. We'll be discussing the auto shift of the vehicle. We'll be reviewing the different driving modes of the vehicle. We'll be discussing the build quality and the reliability of the vehicle. We'll be comparing it to ICE driving, and ICE is internal combustion engine, which is essentially those petrol cars. We'll be looking at the acceleration experience. We'll be discussing the different modes of the vehicle. We'll be discussing charging times, especially on the NMC battery. This is an all-wheel drive. There's also a rear-wheel drive, but this particular one is an all-wheel drive, so it uses NMC, not the LFP. We'll be looking at the bad points and good points for improvements. And we'll be looking at charging within the app. So I hope you enjoy this video.
Here we go. We're going to take this car for a drive. And, look, I was a bit hesitant because of this, where you put the car in gear and it is all about the sliding back and forth. It's all on screen, apart from what I showed you before up here. But you get used to it quite quickly. So there you go. You just saw me put into reverse and drive. We're going to go and drive now, and all I'm doing is I'm releasing the brake pedal. We're about to take this car for a drive. Got to mention about the auto shift in this car. Auto shift is mainly used for parking, but it also used for putting the car into gear. And one of the things I hesitated on was about having this screen gear shift, I guess you would call it. It's just shifting the gear on the screen instead of doing a stalk or a knob and things like that. It's all on screen, and as you notice, as soon as I put my foot on the brake pedal, it shifted into drive straight away. So that's the auto shift. So now I'm ready to go because it knows that there's something behind. So of course it thinks, or it knows that I'm not going to go reverse unless I force it to go in reverse. But automatically it puts it in the drive. So now I can just accelerate and it start moving.
So do you have this at the moment under normal driving mode, or is it one pedal driving? Because I understand it's got multiple one pedal driving modes also.
So there is a driving mode, and we'll just slow the car down so I can do it. Deceleration. So that's what we're talking about here, is the one pedal driving mode. It's actually called deceleration. And the word there is actually correct. You're actually, as soon as you decelerate, the car starts slowing down. That's what deceleration is, to a point where it comes to a stop. There is a reduced deceleration, which means it doesn't slow down as quickly as the standard one is. So that's more for you to switch over from how you used to drive and get used to how the Tesla now does it.
But it's all regenerative, isn't it?
It's all regenerative, and you'll see it here. How the bar goes green, it's when it's charging up. Yeah, so it is deceleration, reduce, and standard reduces. Again, if you haven't driven an EV before, it's just to get you used to it. It doesn't decelerate as quickly as the standard version. So I've driven this for, like I said, 3 weeks now, so I got used to it.
So the standard version is 100% one pedal driving, and it'll actually stop the car when you release the pedal.
It's awesome. I heard people haven't changed their brake pads for years, and I can understand why. For the last 3 weeks that I've driven this car, I can probably say I've hit the brake pedals less than 20 times.
Wow.
That's how much this thing works. So I'm going to drive now because there's other people behind us. And I'll take that off so we can go to the screen. We're coming to a little hump here so you can feel how comfortable this car is. Well, you still feel it, but it's quite firm and strong. Do we want to go behind this?
Yeah, we'll just have a bit of a drive.
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask you, when you first got the vehicle, how was the build quality and the reliability straight out of the gate, straight when you got it?
To be honest, look, I was looking forward to getting the car, so I was already in favor of the car. But when I saw it, I loved it. It was awesome. It's a beautiful car. The look was what I expected it. Actually, it was better than what I expected it. And the build quality was pretty good. I mean, look, it's an $80,000 car, just below 80,000. So you're not getting the, $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 car quality.
Okay.
There is a little bit misalignment here and there, but that's fine. I mean, it's you can overlook those things. And I'm going to show you this misalignment later on. It's just the way they put the panel together and so on. But apart from that, loved it. There's no, it is what you expect. It's a Tesla. It's well built. I've heard story about other things, but, I couldn't fault it. It was nice.
So would you say the reliability of this vehicle is better than what you're used to, or can be improved, or just perfect for what you expect?
Well, reliability-wise comes from over time, right? But I can give you a first impression of the last 3 weeks, I guess, driving this car.
Yeah.
Really comfortable with it, feel solid, feel confident in driving it. And it's a really nice drive because I've got a Kia Carnival. Going back to an ICE car now, it feels so different. I mean, this car, you just press the accelerator and it goes and it's smooth. There's no build up of momentum, nothing. It's ready to go. Like I'm hitting the accelerator, it just goes, right?
Now, 0 to 100 in this car was what?
4.3.
Have you tried it?
Yes.
Have you timed it?
Haven't timed it, but you can feel it.
Oh boy. Okay, that was a shock.
I wanted to do that because I didn't want you to anticipate it, but it's a pushback in the seat feel.
Wow. Yeah, I remember it was. I don't have it written down here and from memory, but it does have high torque.
Yeah, it's an amazing feeling, and you don't get over it because it's just there.
Well, he's just pushing me back.
It's just there.
Okay,
You'll see the camera moving, right?
So is there a difference between like economic mode, normal mode, sports mode? Like
there is a chill mode, which don't give you that same thing. So I'm going to switch over to chill mode now while I'm driving, which you're not supposed to do. But so let me just get over this hump, and we'll just do a little quick sprint. But you don't feel that. And again, look, I'm not touching the brakes when I'm going over that.
Okay.
And now I'm going to hit it. Nowhere.
Big difference.
Massive difference. You just don't feel it the same way. So it's so much fun driving on. Again, see, the car has come to full stop and I haven't touched the brake.
But in sports mode, does it use more battery?
It does use more battery. Of course, it needs to have that the engine engaged all the time, so it's ready to go. Where chill mode.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
No, go on.
How can I see the range that's left in the vehicle with the battery?
That.
Okay.
So I touch that and it's 228 left.
228. So if you were to change that to chill, would that distance left
It changes a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
It changes a little bit.
So let's try that.
Yep.
Can I do it?
Yep.
228.
Well, you probably need to drive it a little bit for it to change. But it does change because I notice when I put on chill with a destination, and then I change it to dynamic, it does change the kilometer. It does change how much it's got left.
Okay.
Or one thing it does do is when you set a destination, it tells you how much percentage or how much battery you're going to use.
It actually detected witches' hats.
Witches' hat, yeah.
They weren't exactly witches' hats, but they did the actual work of a witch's hat. That's what they're doing on the side of the road as they upgrading the road.
Yep.
So can I ask you, how does the Model Y compare to the Model 3? Have you driven a Model?
I haven't driven a Model 3 yet, but I think that will be on the next video that we can do, is driving different cars and getting our own opinion. So you'll drive this car, you'll drive the Model 3, Trevor will drive this car, he'll drive your Seal, I'll do the same. And then we can give our you know.
Okay, we can then talk about charging time and acceleration, of course, which we've seen. The
acceleration is awesome, but charging time.
Yeah.
So, you know, as people may understand, Tesla try to tell you to keep it between 20 and 80%.
Because it's an NMC battery?
NMC battery. So last night I did run it down to 20%. As soon as I put in the charger, it says it's going to take about, mind you, that's a 2 kilowatt charger.
Okay.
It's a trickle charger, so it's not a fast one. And 2 kilowatt charger from 20 to 80%, it was going to take me about 22 hours to charge.
Okay.
Yeah. So that gives you...
And that was a 76 kilowatt battery, wasn't
This is a 75 kilowatt
75
battery,
kilowatt,
yeah.
Okay.
So it works about right. If you have the home charger that is from Tesla, I think it goes up to about 7 kilowatts, which means you're going to be charging it about at least 3 times faster.
Yeah, that's if you've got the home charger.
Yeah.
That's on single phase.
Yeah.
You can get 7 kilowatts out of that.
Yeah.
The car itself, and this is one of the great things in my opinion about Tesla, is the Tesla Model 3 and the Model Y both support 11 kilowatt AC charging.
Yeah.
And that to me is fantastic because I don't know why, like with the BYDs I've got, they limit them to, BYD limit it to 7 kilowatt charging. I don't know why, because the BYD seal in Europe, in UK, actually does 11 kilowatt charging. So for Australia, they BYD limited it to 7 kilowatts, but I would personally prefer a higher charging rate. And I know with the Teslas, they all do in AC. And the way it works, if you're not familiar with it, is batteries are charged with DC. Your phone is charged with DC. Those types of things, it's all DC, direct current that charges these types of batteries. Now, when you've got an AC home, you need to have a converter to charge from, to convert from AC to DC, and that's what you get those chargers for. They do the conversion, and within the cars themselves, there's an inverter, an AC to DC inverter. So it doesn't matter if you've got 22 kilowatt charging at home. If your car only has a 11 kilowatt inverter or a 7 kilowatt inverter, that's the maximum you're going to charge your car at home. And as we saw earlier, it does have the CCS2 connection type, connector type, and that gives you the AC on top and the 2 DC ports on the bottom. And what I understand with the launch edition, it was 250 kilowatt charging.
Yes.
And to me, that's extremely fast, especially for Australia. Now, if you do compare that with Chinese vehicles, Chinese vehicles now, BYD are doing 1 megawatt, 1,000 kilowatt charging. And I think another manufacturer has even pushed it to 1,200 kilowatt. Now, that comes with its own problems. How do you supply that much power from the grid and things like that? But for Australian conditions, 250 kilowatt, you do get those charges, especially in the Tesla superchargers.
Yes.
They do support those, and that means, I remember I had this written down. That means in 15 minutes, you could add on this particular car something like 230 or 250 kilometers in 15 minutes.
It's pretty good.
Which is very good.
Yeah. So I think later on in the year, I'm going to be taking this car for a family drive. Going up Central Coast, and that it's a couple of 100 kilometers. So it'll be a good test to see how it performs in long range wise. But I take this car to work, and that's only about a 40 kilometer round trip every day, and then little short trips here and there while I'm at work. But yeah, the car is great for what it is. It's
and 551 kilometers WLTP.
Yep. So I would say at 80%. You're probably getting about 400 kilometers, yeah?
Okay, that's all right, yeah.
Yeah, and even with all that, look, I haven't tested long range, but for running around normal day, everyday stuff, more than enough. And you just charge it on every day. It's recommended you charge every day anyway.
Okay.
So yeah, just plug it in and let it drain, let it fill up to 80%, and that way you won't have any problem around town.
Okay, and the last point I'd love to cover, your opinion of the car, the good points, the bad points, or the points of improvement.
All right, so love the car, always loved the car, that's why I got it. and just the driving difference is awesome. You just don't get it. You don't get the same feeling in an ICE car.
And I've actually heard that many times from people that have driven ICE vehicles for many years. Like we grew up with ICE vehicles.
Yep.
And as soon as they drive an EV, even if they're hesitant with, okay, I prefer ICE vehicles because of X, Y, and Z, as soon as they drive EVs, they notice a major difference and minds get changed. You know, like originally people would say, okay, we're going to save the earth with EVs or anything like that. I mean, what I've found the best thing about EVs is the
driving experience. It's a definitely different experience altogether. Yeah.
And the second best thing is the budget.
Yeah.
I don't have to pay for fuel. I don't have to wait at service stations. I don't have to, breathe in those fumes at the service station.
Yeah.
Now, some service stations have the vacuuming where they take away the fumes, but others don't. Now, all of that experience I no longer do because all my charging now, 99% of my charging, if I'm not going on a road trip, is at home. I charge from solar. So that's a big difference with me is when I charge the vehicle, it's essentially free from solar. Now, not all the time because, of course, we get cloudy days, rainy days, and we're in the winter months now, and look at the beautiful winter day.
Yeah.
But we are in the winter months of Australia, so what we do find is we do get more cloudy days, shorter days, less time for the sun to be out. So in those types of conditions, you can charge the car from solar exclusively, but not if you're driving the one car every day. You have to charge it every day if you're driving the vehicle every day.
Yeah.
Now, I've given an example in, I think, a previous video where I swap the cars around and I charge 2-3 days for the BYDs. But in terms of a vehicle like this, charging at home and even charging at work, if your work supplies it, free of charge, saves you on cost.
But even if you're charging at work, because electricity is still cheaper than petrol at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so I charge at home. I think the electrical company charged me, 33 cents. Compared to what I normally charge with petrol, it's still about 1/3.
Yeah, so 33 cents per kilowatt hour compared to a litre of fuel.
Yeah.
Going up, it'll show you the charge stats.
Oh, yeah. That's a good idea. Oh, on the apps, yes. So on the apps, yeah, you're right.
So let's look at the charge stats.
Yeah. So if we go that, and if I go to charging stats. So for the month, there you go. Total charge, 219 kilowatts. Spent, and again, it's 33 cents. I've spent $74.
And we're talking here on a 75 kilowatt battery, so you've actually charged it
quite a
number of times.
Yeah. Saving, it's calculated saving here. I don't know how it did that, but it's saving $96.
Yes, that's based on a New South Wales average of 24 kilowatts.
Actually, I've got 34 cents here.
Yeah, 34 cents. That's home.
And I've charged something at work as well. So, yeah, there you go. Oh, it's about, less than half of what I normally spend on fuel.
Now, you have solar, don't you?
I have solar, but I don't get to utilize it because this car's at work during the day.
Yes, okay. Yeah.
And you actually haven't set that up properly because this is based on a New South Wales average, 24 cents a kilowatt.
Yeah. So I'm about to change my electrical supplier now to one that gives me off-peak time. So the one I've got now, it just gives me a flat rate of 33.7.
Yeah, and a lot of them do the 12 a.m. to 6 a.m.
Correct.
8 cents.
Actually, 10 to, I found one, this might be a little bit off topic here, but I found one that from 10 to 6, it's 18 cents.
Okay.
So, and then 6 to 4, it's 26 cents, I think. And then they have a peak time between 4 and 10. So, I'll learn how to utilize that and how to use that in, to maximize the savings that you get with electrical car. But anyway, look, with electrical car, again, I can't emphasize it enough. It's just a different drive altogether. And I don't know, I haven't driven any other cars and any other electrical car, but this car here, man, I can't fault it.
So that was episode 6. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share this video with someone who would like it, or just leave a comment. It really all helps. So episode 7 is coming, and I think this is the last of the episodes. I really hope to see you there. Until then, bye for now.